What's up? Welcome back to Pie TV, SFE Fantasy Football Week 3 League in Review. Week 3 is in the books. It was interesting, it was exciting, it was crazy, it was absolutely controversial. I heard one analyst say that at the end of the morning games, it was the most exciting 60 minutes of football history. I don't necessarily agree with him, but I understand where he's coming from. One thing's for sure, if you didn't know how the new overtime rules work, you probably do now. With 3 games needing extra time, the extra time gave fantasy players access to points that were much needed, as we saw much lower scores this week than we did in week 1 or week 2. With defenses now like Seattle, Arizona, San Francisco, Houston, and several others, matchups look like they will play a huge role in this year's quest for the fantasy football holy grail. And now with all that said, let's get to week 3's review. And here's to Steve Sable and NFL Films. Congratulations to this week's winner of the pie, Fuera Damie Bus. Congratulations, brother. Well done. Damie Bus moves to 2-1 and beating out Unagis by over 100 points, sending the defending champ into panic mode as he starts the season 0-3. The final score of 186-84 was a shellacking. Damie Bus can rest easy with a new solidified backfield of welcome back Jamal Charles and nice to meet you Andre Brown, accompanied by the always dependable Megatron. Unagis has hope with Matthews' return, a heating up Marshawn Lynch, and a pissed off Drew Brees. We shall see, but I will not write off the champ just yet. Well done, Fuera Damie Bus. In another blowout, Enemy Combatants becomes the last team without a blemish on their record, going to 3-0 and handing the Shitweasels their first loss of the season, knocking them down to 2-1 and currently sitting in 4th place in the standings. Combatants wins 122-81, led by Brady, Decker, and his keeper from last year, DeMarco Murray. The Shits lose Bush mid-game, and Cam Newton has a stinker. His midweek pickup, Martellus Bennett, does pay off with over 19 points, and he let us know it on the message boards all week. In pummeling match number 3, Underdogs creams just win baby 149-101 points. Underdogs moves to 2-1 and sets up the week 4 match of the week with the last undefeated team, Enemy Combatants. While Just Win Baby falls to 0-3. With Just Win Baby and the Unagis responsible for the last 3 SFE FFL championships and a combined start to the season of 0-6, the door is wide open for a new champion this year. The Underdogs had nice balanced scoring throughout his team and continues to put up big totals each week, led by Eli, Ray Rice, and Brandon Lloyd. Cutler and McCoy continue to let down Just Win, but they do get nice production from Wes Welker and Wallace, who will be on bye next week. In an exciting match, Game Over Man moves to 2-1 while giving Bruising Broncos their first loss and moving them to 2-1 as well. Game Over beats the Broncos 141-103 points in this contest that finished up in a Sunday night game. Game Over was carried by Stafford's 46 points and AJ Green's 36 points. Balanced scoring with the rest of this squad helped as well. Of course, with the exception of the new 3rd string, Kevin Smith, Game Over also has CJ Spiller and Turner on the bench. The guy's got some serious running back problems. Bronco holds steady with Matt Ryan, the Giants D, and Reggie Wayne producing once again. Wayne will get a break with the bye week coming up, and we will see how Broncos' depth comes into play. Let's get some more of that. And yet another lopsided win. Los Malditos Perros gets their first win, beating Killin' Time with 144-113 points. Killin' Time drops to 1-2, and Perros climbs to 1-2. Although Michael Vick tanked for the Perros, Fitzgerald, San Antonio Holmes, and the miraculous, inspiring game by Torrey Smith carried the Perros to the win column. Torrey Smith, to your family and your brother, man. Killin' Time jumped on the back of RG3 once again, but came up short with Sproles and Sean Green nailing it in this weekend. In our second to last recap of the week, One Hard Rammer comes from behind to beat Panda Attack to move to 2-1 on the season, and to knock the Panda down to 1-2. The game wasn't pretty for either team with a final score of 91-79. The Rammer will, however, take it as a win is a win. He'll chalk it up to a stellar fantasy defense. Neither team cracks 100. Rivers and Gates lets down the Rammer. Jones, Drew, and McFadden look to be the elite running core he had hoped for, and the attack does get a solid total of 27 points from Andrew Luck, who could become a dependable player for Panda the rest of the way. But with his receivers Hakeem Nicks and Macklin out for the week, the Panda overall takes it up this week. And in the final tilt, this Monday night finisher was won by Rookies 100-82 points, beating out the uninspired No Clue. Rookies moves to 2-1, and No Clue drops to 1-2 and by no means is out of it. No Clue went into Monday night's game down by 41 points, and with only Rodgers left in the match, with taking him number 1 overall, you would think and hope that 42 points would be doable. Unfortunately, in this Forever Classic, thanks to the Scabs, Rodgers put up a meager 24 points. Not what you're looking for when taking a quarterback number 1 overall in the draft. Rookies has balanced scoring from Romo, Foster, and Michael Bush, who got the start over the injured Matt Forte this week. And now in this week's honorable mentions. I guess with the events of last 48 hours, how can I not start with the replacement officials? First of all, New England, the field goal was good. I know we all want to play tricks on our eyes and say that it wasn't, but it wasn't clear. It was clearly good. Close, no doubt. Very close, but good. Harbaugh, nice work on milking the 2 extra timeouts that you got. And we could go on and on and on with interesting spots and blown calls all over the place. But what happened Monday night has got to be one of the craziest finishes to a week, let alone a game that we have ever seen. That was clearly an interception. Green Bay clearly got robbed. That game will be felt until the bitter end of the season. Will have implications, no doubt, on not only seeding, but who will and won't make the playoffs. That call will be the headline and the footnote that will describe the 2012-2013 NFL season. But most importantly, I would like to bring up a point that I have not heard yet discussed. I said last week in the review that if they don't settle this thing, that a blown call is inevitably going to decide a game at the last minute and all hell would break loose. I didn't know it would happen in the following week, but it did. Now my concern with the fever pitch that it is what if that happened in a city like, say, Oakland? And Oakland was on the losing end of that call. Not to throw Oakland under the bus, but I think this thing is about one bad call in the wrong situation away from a potential riot. Or at the very least, things, and I mean a lot of things, being thrown onto the field, putting both fans and players in harm's way. After the ref made the final call Monday, I saw him put on the headset in midfield. I thought to myself, maybe that's the league office telling him to reverse the call on spot and get the call right. It would have been unprecedented, yes. But isn't this whole situation unprecedented? Then I thought, he can't do that. Because if he did, this place would go crazy. And who knows what would happen after he just told the team they had won the game. And Seattle's a chill city. My point is to even feel that as being a possibility tells me that this thing is so out of control. And now it's a safety thing. I figure it out. Get the refs on the field. And let us remember how much we always complained and hated them too. Now, to Torrey Smith for having the heart of a champion and honoring his brother in a very courageous way. To Steve Sable, thanks for teaching us all. Congratulations to the Cowboys for getting their first rushing touchdown in 10 games. Holy crap, who knew? And to the law firm for his first ever NFL fumble. CJ gets hurt and Mr. Jackson sounds like he's making a speedy recovery. Hello, Jamal Charles. Welcome back. MJD shows he's still the man, and those of us that drafted him hoped he would be. Welcome, Mr. Hawkins. Will you keep it up when Mr. Simpson comes back? Larry Fitzgerald is alive, and the NFL. Thanks for punishing the fans even more, blacking out non-sellouts in their regions. This week I couldn't watch the Chargers despite having the football package. Sounds like a great way to encourage fans to go to games, by not letting them see them. How do you create a fan base for a team that you won't let us watch? You're only hurting yourselves and making us suffer for your incompetence to fill your gigantic, crazy stadiums. We're not your children. We pay your salaries. Enough with the arrogance. Let us watch the games. And here's to an injury-free and sleeper-filled season to you all. Happy waiver wire hunting, and remember the first game's on Thursday. Congratulations, Davey Bus.